Welcome. Man, such an honor and a privilege to do what we do best. Come together in fellowship in the spirit of personal development. As always, when you come in the chat, if you can see me, press 1. And if you can hear me, press 2. If you can see me, press 1. And if you can hear me, press 2. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are at the right place at the right time. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. And I honor that and I appreciate your time because without you being here, I couldn't do what I do. When you come through, go ahead and smash the like button. Go ahead and share the video one time for the algorithm. What's going on, y'all? You at the right place at the right time. This is Coin Gang Ministries. This is ministry for the abstract mind. And it's a safe space for all of y'all out there that have an out-the-box philosophy. For the people that look at something and go, For the people that create their own traditions and write their own ticket and their own story, right? For the people that have a desire to blaze their own trail and leave their own type of footprints in the sand. If that's you, I want you to know that I don't care who you're dating. I don't care about your wig. I don't care about your car. This is neutral ground. This is personal development. And my name is Ken Billions, if you didn't know. This is ministry for the abstract mind. And this is a safe space for everybody out there that has an out-the-box philosophy. If you have babies, please keep your babies close to you. I don't care what's going on in the world. I don't care what they say on TV. I don't care what no one else is doing. Stay close and loyal to your tribe. Keep your babies close. And if you got a man in your life and you got a woman in your life, be patient with them. Be patient with them. Do not deal with what you see on the shade room. Don't deal with a talking point where somebody says on a podcast, right? Rock with who's rocking with you, right? It's a big world, but it's super difficult to really find the people that we gel with, right? And keep them close. It's not easy. There is no manuscript. There is no manual when it comes to this relationship thing. And always consider the human element, right? Never put the marriage before the human. Never put the relationship before the human. That is a woman human. That is a man human. Don't be so caught up in the talking point that you forget about the individual's humanity. I like to say a special shout out to all the Coin Gang family, all the people that rock with me and hold me down, whether you super chat, you cash app, you buy an ebook, you like the video, you share the video, or even if you watch from the cloud. I appreciate you. Today is going to be one of our classics today, right? Today, we're going to talk about the development of male psychology. And this is a conversation to help modern men shift their brain, right? In modern times, right now, so you can get a win. The development of male psychology, we're going to talk about when you change the God, you change the narrative. We're going to talk about modern man's keys to freedom. If men really want freedom, I have a suggestion and a solution. We're going to talk about the world changed and you didn't know it. The world changed and you didn't know it. And we're going to talk about manhood redefined. Our bill today is outdated male psychology is failing in a digital world. Outdated male psychology is failing in the digital world. If you are a parent and you have a male child, this is an important conversation for you because it's important that you develop your boy's psychology for the year 2050, not the year 1950, right? There's something fundamentally flawed about human beings where we don't believe what our eyes is telling us. The market is saying one thing, but we don't believe it, and we're skipping over what the market is saying. We're skipping over what Chat GPT is saying. We are skipping over what automation is saying, as if there's going to be a supernatural force that stops and delivers us from technology to make that, and so that will help us better adjust. I'm telling you, it's not happening. Our conversation today, our build today, is outdated. Male psychology is failing in the digital world. But before we get into that, I just want to give people the heads up. So, a young, fine gentleman left this on my Facebook comment today, right? He said, I don't want to damage you, cornball. You bash black men to black women. So you are literally dividing us. You doing the white man's work. So until you stop, I'm on you. I'm going to hire an investigator to really get the info on you. I got the time and I got the money. Let the games begin. I wouldn't be surprised if you was laid up with white women. I'm going to get the picture. So I wanted to put this on the screen to let him know and others know I am with the exposing, because I have a Machiavellian kind of mindset where I get activated for shit like that. But what I really wanted to tell him and those that come behind him is, number one, Ken is the homie. Number two, Ken is a thought. Number three, Ken was a criminal. Number four, Ken did all the drugs. Number five, you don't need a picture for me laying up with women, because I done laid up with all types of women in all types of hotels, in the back of all kind of cars, right? In all kind of beds. I've been doing it from Maine to Spain, right? So when you do things like that, you have to make sure that's not what I want you to do. But when you're the homie, you can be flawed as hell. Now, here's the thing. These are gentlemen from my Facebook, right? They thrive on, they want to hold the modern woman accountable. Here's the thing about being the homie. How am I going to talk to a woman about body counts when I am the hoe of the year? How am I going to talk to women about doing anything when before she did it, I did it? When you're the homie, you know what you do? I feel you, sis. I've been there, right? You making mistakes, you slipping and fell. I've been there, beloved. Here's what I did to change. But I ain't got no heaven to put a woman in, and I ain't got no hell to put a woman in, right? Right? I'm not Kevin Samuels. I'm not going to tell women to be healthy in their weight when I'm drinking Red Bulls. So whatever I say to a woman, I first have to be the genuine article. So if you're looking for dirt on me, make sure you post my fire mug shots, right? Because I'm all that, right? But I represent personal development. So I represent what you could be when you can come from welfare, and when you can come from the Pookie spectrum, and when you thought and you change your life, and when you've been suicidal and then you think you have value, and when you got mommy issues and you got daddy issues, yeah, I'm the one, right? So come over here, come over to death row. If you tired of these niggas dancing in the videos with the shame, blame, and explain. Shout out to Ty City, you know what I'm saying? Come over here, right? Now, are you ready? Just had to get that out the way. But I don't duck smoke. I'm with all that shit, right? So, before we get started, shout out to Mary coming through always with the 5 on the super chat. Shout out to Phoenix. Is it Phoenix? Soul. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Now, let's not get sidetracked from what our conversation and our build today, because that is an example of outdated male psychology, especially from older niggas, right? There's this thing about, I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna tell everybody who you really are. I'm with them doing drugs, nigga. What are you gonna say? I'm with them at the party turning up. We the homies, we the crew. Nigga, I ain't Malcolm. I ain't Martin. I ain't Jesus. I have no desire to save niggas. This is personal development over here. If you got dirt under your nails, you used to hoe, you used to bang, you trying to change your life, you believe in personal development, come over here to Death Row. So, just had to say that. I'm with the smoke though. Without further ado, each time period, each environment produces a specific psychology for the human being, right? The dangerous thing about modern men is their psychology does not match the environment. Modern men have a psychology that matches an environment that does not exist anymore. Men are supposed to do this, the word suppose. So suppose are things we like to be true, but aren't not necessarily true. It's a production. Men are supposed. See, we don't say that about lions. We don't say lions are supposed to be carnivores. They are. We don't say dolphins are supposed to swim. They just do, right? So when it's a truth, it just is. You don't have to put suppose. Modern men have an outdated psychology from a time period that has came and went. Okay? Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. The world used to look much different before, right? There was a time period where when women had the child, had a baby, they barely survived. There was a time period when insects was hella big, and if they bite you, your ass would die. There was a time where if you had a regular common cold, you would die. Only in certain parts of the world, right? And we're going to get into that because our male psychology, even mine included, things I had to unlearn, are from a specific group of people. It is not the world. So if you hear people say, well, it was like this since the beginning of time, whose time? You have to be specific. So the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic mindset was a dominant mindset on the planet, but from specific groups of people, not all groups of people. The majority of men globally have a psychology that is stuck in this period right here. And many of them did not get the psychology by choice. They got the psychology from losing a war. How you see the world, how you see masculinity, how you see femininity, how you see women, what you think a male and a man actually is. What you think is normal is not necessarily natural, okay? So if you have a Paleolithic, Mesolithic, or Neolithic mindset as a man, you are putting yourself behind an 8-ball because you are not adapted and adjusted to the future. It does not fit for 2050, but you need it because of the ego. So you need your family to look a certain type of way. You need to look a certain type of way in the pictures. You need your nuclear family to look a certain type of way so you can get the win. But if you adjust your mindset to now, Not only will you get a win in modern times now, but your grandchildren will be set up to get a win. And I'm telling you right now, if you are programming your grandchildren, your males, even your daughters, with a Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic mindset, you are going to make your bloodline extinct, and your bloodline is going to be part of the permanent underclass. What is the world telling you? What is ChatGPT telling you? And how do you plug in what you consider masculinity in a digital world? This is important. The world's most recent glacial period lasted from 100,000 to 12,500 years ago. Now look at the map. Now everywhere you see that's covered in white, those are ice sheets. Okay? There is millions of people that live in this ice. Let me help you. You see that? You see North America covered? You see Europe? You see even parts of Asia and Russia covered? It's covered in ice sheets. So there are people living in this time period that never seen the sun. What do you think their relationship dynamics are? How do you think they structure their families? See, the environment dictates the psychology. Now notice, there's places that ain't covered in the ice. And herein lies the conflict. You have the ice people, right? And let's say you have the natural people. The natural people have a different psychology than the ice people. The male psychology that modern men have has been an inheritance from those that came out the ice. Everything we think about the world has been shaped by those that were trapped millennia in the ice. And once that ice melted, these people came among the rest of the human family with a different type of culture. The way they seen the world was absolutely different, based on the environment, right? Again, look at everywhere in white. There are people living in this ice. There are men trapped in this ice. Now, what do you think is the mentality of the men trapped in the ice towards their women? What do you think the nutrition is of women? What kind of predators do you think exist? Do you think they have time to mourn their dead? Most importantly, what kind of gods do you think the ice people have? If your skin is brown and you are a male, I don't care who you are, you have an ice man mentality. What you call a white man, that's not what he is. That is a man that is part of millions of human beings that was locked away from the rest of humanity. That's not his race. They are the people of the ice. So their emotions don't see humanity. It sees property, right? It sees things and stuff. Because when you live in this kind of environment, you cannot get close to human beings. Your relationship is to things and stuff. or an animal that you're able to domesticate to help you hunt and survive. Now understand, we have been raised and educated, mimic, and our role models are people that have to trap and hunt their food for thousands of years. Now think about this. Oh, it's not putting no one above no one. We're just talking about culture. If these group of people over here have to chase and set traps for their food, what kind of psychology you think that is? Compared to those people living in the green areas where food might be more abundant to you. What y'all think is natural man thinking isn't. The reason why many of us align with it, because it puts us over the woman. So we align with the shit. But you got to remember, there was a time where this thinking didn't benefit you either, sir. And honestly, it still doesn't. See, one of the reasons why many people won't never figure out so-called white supremacy, because it's not that, it's ice supremacy. The reason why you'll never figure these people out is because you don't understand their sexual habits and you don't understand their psychology, how they see the world. You have to decode Norse traditions. You have to study the Vikings. You have to understand that you are trying to appeal and apply morality for people that their primal consciousness remembers a world of ice. Not happening, bruh. And do you notice? Nature favors the bold. Do you notice it doesn't matter what they want to do, they're able to achieve it, and nature does nothing about it? See, nature's not going to fight the war for us, right? And the interesting thing, that many melanated people join religious organizations hoping a supernatural being intervenes with human conflict. You want a supernatural being to fight human wars. You are on your own. The meek won't inherit shit. Sorry. But keep hope alive. So what you call white supremacy, you're looking at the skin. You need to look at the psychology. But here's the thing. When you audit that psychology, you're going to notice that psychology is our psychology. As much as we pretend to be different than the white man, we are very, very much the same. The problem is we don't like the position that we're in. So we would like to do the same shit the white man is doing, or the ice man, right? We are very far away from nature. We are very far away from how this so-called original man and woman lived because of psychology. And what we think is true and real, and it's always been like that, no, it ain't. We don't know anyone else's history outside of a Mesopotamian Judeo-Christian history. But humanity is long in terms of the history. You know why we don't want to study it? It's because the hierarchy that we deal with and the psychology that we deal with, we're going to find out that it ain't ancient. And we're going to find out that our mothers and fathers, the ancestors y'all talk about, did not live like that. And we're not going to want to change because things benefit us. So I want everybody to look again. Look at that ice. North America, Asia, Europe. Look at the ice. These ice sheets are very, very thick. These people that got trapped in this ice age, some scholars believe, depending on what kind of tinfoil hat you wear, that the ice happened instantly. Can we get in our nerd bag real quick? A cataclysm occurred that changed the earth, not in hundreds of thousands of years, in days. A sudden winter, right? Because you would ask yourself, well, how did they get stuck? There are so many mysteries regarding our planet that we don't know about. And the problem is when you view the world through a religious lens, right? The truth becomes stranger than fiction. So many of us have never heard of Earth crust displacement, continental drift, right? Or pole shift, right? When the South Pole and the North Pole switch, not in hundreds of millions of years, in days. That would explain a lot of your religious stories about floods, about earthquakes, because the way that man tells stories, we don't tell it literal. We tell it in an abstract way so people understand it. But you see the world's major religions from Judaism, Christianity, and Islam talk about cataclysms. And the people that are talking about it are those that survived the cataclysm and they attach it to something supernatural. Okay? Look at the ice. The way that you see the world is from the ice man. Okay? A good book on this is The Iceman Inheritance. Michael Bradley. See, this is different than stats and statistics. Blah, blah, blah. You know why? Because the school of thought that I'm from, the elders told us to study thyself, to show thyself and prove, and to make sure that we are right and exact. So we don't just Google and find a statistic and post it. No, we actually have to buy books. We actually have to listen to things we agree with and then cross-reference it with things we disagree with. Right? You have to listen to atheists. You have to listen to agnostics. You have to listen to those that subscribe to Judeo-Christian principles. You have to listen to those that subscribe to Coptic, 5%ers, Mormons. I have books on them all because it's the perspective of people that are living the human experience, and you have to piece it together. That's why 50% of this won't help. 60% of this won't. That's not the human story. So are you ready to get rid of the ice mentality? Are you? If you find out the way that you view the world is totally wrong, would you still go with it because it benefits you? What if you found out what you thought is normal is not necessarily natural? What if you thought the relationship between men and women that you always thought was true, what if that ain't true? What if that is not the story? Right? What if you, right? What if you have been brainwashed? I have. Things that I thought was once true isn't. You know the biggest lie that I had to unlearn? The biggest lie that I had to unlearn was no supernatural being gave me as a male dominion over anything but myself. I don't have dominion over lions. I don't have dominion over tigers. And man didn't run around naming everything. But the biggest lie that I believed was that it was my job to police women. We'll get into that in a sec. Because that's part of the ice mentality. Again, what do you think is the relationship, the gender dynamics of people that are stuck in the ice? Do you think there's a such thing as unconditional love? Do you think that people have a better relationship with the animals they domesticated compared to human beings? Most importantly, what kind of gods do you think developed by the people in the ice? Do you think it was a loving God? You think it was a caring God? Or do you think it was a jealous God? Do you think it was a vengeful God? Do you think it was a God that'll flood the earth when you do human shit and cast fire and brimstone on you? Now, do you think those gods that come from the ice have different attributes than the gods that come from the places in the green? What do you think? So if you want to understand more about the Iceman mentality, there's a great book called The Iceman Inheritance. See, when you come from the ice, your mentality is fight or flight. Your mentality is not abundance. Your mentality is not being tolerant and being understanding. How could it be? You're from the ice. What do you know about the Germanic tribes? See, I have to say this in a way for people to understand, and I have to be the guy that looks like this to admit it. Yo, if you look like this and you are a male, we are born to conquered men. Your forefathers, my forefathers, lost. Okay? That's just what it is. Okay? That's not to make you feel bad. That's not saying you're inferior, but you lost. So since your forefathers, your great, 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 great grandfather lost to another group of men because of technology, because of disease, because of timing, you are absorbed into another people's mind. So the way that you see the world is through that man's mind. But here's the thing. Not the 1% of those group of people's mind. The bottom of the pyramid. Right? So we say that we have got all this behavior that we have and this thinking that we have from the slave master. False. If that was the case, why we don't think ownership? He had no contact with the master. You know who you have contact with? An overseer. Who's an overseer? Poor Irish. Poor males that came to America and learned about the white-black hierarchy. Scottish, German, came to America as Scottish, Irish, German, and found out there was a thing called white. And then found out that even in being poor with no skills, there is a group of people under him because you had this new dynamic called white and black is on the bottom. So this poor Irishman that was nothing in his country came over with no shoes. Guess what? He got a job now. See, that's the behavior that we mimic. The poor Iceman at the bottom of the pyramid. We didn't hang out with the slave master. Neither did the Irishman. You don't think like a slave master. Because if you did, your path to power wouldn't always be civil rights. Your path to power would be more Machiavellian, right? Your path to power would be more sinister, right? You wouldn't try to liberate your human experience by worshiping loving deities. second. What do you know about the Germanic tribes? The Germanic tribes is very, very, very important. See, the Germanic tribes always had conflicts with Rome, right? We very much think Germanic or German or Gothic. You know, if you see a person with black nail polish, someone looking like Marilyn Manson, you'll say, oh my God, you're a devil worshiper. You wear all black. But you see the world through a Germanic perspective, though. This is what it looked like at the time as the Germanic tribes are spreading all through Europe, right? So while you're critiquing and demonizing a person that looks like Marilyn Manson with black nail polish and, you know, vampire teeth, and you're calling it evil and devil, understand the word God you use is Germanic. The word God is a Germanic word. Now, when we look at the word God, we look at it through etymology to find out the root meaning. God, Old English. Remember, you're in somebody's mind now, right? Supreme deity, the Christian God, image of God, godlike person, Proto-Germanic, Guthen. This is what it would sound like if you used it then. Guthen. Also Old Saxon, Old Frisian, Old Dutch, which is uncertain origin. Gut, that which is evoked. Slavonic, to call. To invoke. Peep this. To invoke a divine deity for sacrifice. What you think the word God means, it doesn't mean that. And that's the thing about when you're conquered. When you're conquered, you have meanings in your head. But when you don't know you're conquered, you don't even know what the words mean. Understand, for you to be foundational Black American and all that shit, what was the language that people that you say is your ancestor used to call on the all? Because if you use Germanic language to try to empower yourself, you are casting a spell on yourself. God is a German word. Go to the top right side. Goot or goo, poured, from goo, source, kind, to pour. This is etymology. So all these variation of words, this is how it sounded at the time when it's being used. Now, mind you, this is how the Germanic tribe spread. So when they spread their culture and other people lose the wars, now they have to take on the Germanic ideals, and things start taking different variations based on their accent. Okay? You know what's the ill thing about God? If you can see on your screen at the top right, it says, see also Zeus. In either case, not related to good. Hold on. God is good. When you was coming up in church, what the old head say? I need y'all to put it in the chat. Let's see how, right, conditioned it is. When I say God is good, what's the response for God is good? Now, this is an example of when you're conquered. You don't even know. If I say God is good, you will say, what back to me? Now, peep this. All the time. Now, we don't even know each other. How is that possible that we don't even know each other? We've never met in the flesh. How do you know the same shit as me? That's conquered. Conquered. God is good all the time. Right? But what does the etymology say? So even Granny and them didn't know what they were doing. What does the etymology say? Top right corner. See Zeus. In either case, not related to good. Go to your bottom right hand corner, left hand corner. Now, what you see in the right hand at the bottom, that's Germanic tribes, okay? Now, go to the left hand corner. What we're doing is looking at etymology, okay? Originally a neuter noun in Germanic. Peep this. The gender shifted to masculine after the coming of Christianity. Wait a minute. Let's read that again. Now, anybody could go find this. This is etymology. Shout out to the Moors, because the Moors told us anytime we look up words, you look up words through the etymology, you use a thesaurus, you get to the meaning and investigate the language. Left hand corner, originally a neuter noun. In Germanic, the gender shifted to masculine after the coming of Christianity. So if it shifted to masculine, what was it before? That's important for male psychology, right? You see? All this time, God is good all the time, right? All this time, we've been saying good when it comes to God. All this time, we've been saying He, right? Do you know what that does to our psychology? When we look at the deity system that we're under and there's no woman involved, no feminine involved at all. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Where's the female? Even we say he regarding the devil. You see? I'm not blaming little boys for that. They was born into it. They didn't know. But why would they research it? The system benefits the male. So why would a male research it? You get the big piece of chicken, fam. Why research it? What for? Why look into it? What is the need to be right and exact? Right? What for? Let's go back to it again. Hold on 1 second, y'all. See something. Okay. When y'all see stuff like this, that's not me. Right? That's bots. So let me get rid of this real quick. Hold on. That's not me. When y'all see this, that's not me. Those are bots. Okay, one more. When y'all see this, I don't do Bitcoin and shit like that. Those are bots. Okay? Alright. Do y'all understand? Do y'all see what's going on? Right? Peep the language. So we see the word God was never good. We make it mean what we want it to mean, right? Based on our condition. But we don't look at ourselves as conquered. Right? Let's go back to it. Originally a neuter noun in Germanic, the gender shifted to masculine after the coming of Christianity. So what was it before? What was it before? There's nothing wrong admitting what it is. They won. That's the game. That's the game. You lost. Right? And because there's an L, right? Because there's a loss, we don't understand about the world that we live in. Let me tell you something. Check this out. Check this out. This is a uncontacted tribe in Brazil. They were shooting arrows at a plane taking a picture or a helicopter. They never heard of the word God. Never. Now, in our conquered thinking, we look at them and be like, oh, no, I need to deliver them salvation. They're not asking for it, though. Leave them alone. And when we go bring them salvation, now they got all salvation, but they don't have no more land, though. Their whole way of life has been absorbed into this new paradigm, right? These people that I'm showing you, they don't know about masculinity and femininity. They don't know that. They still live very much like they did thousands of years ago. They don't know about none of this shit we talking about. When they get sick, they go to nature. There's no perversion. They walk around naked. There's no shame until a missionary comes and tells them that. But in our conquered thinking, we need to go save these heathens and these savages. Look at these tribes of the Indian nations of America. Do you know we know none of this history? We know nothing about Choctaw. We know nothing about Iroquois. The only time we even want to talk about First Nations is if we could call them black. That's it. That's the only time we even think about ancient Americans is if their skin is the same complexion as ours and we can claim them and we can claim them. Question: what was their male and female dynamics? Do you know? What was rites of passage for the Iroquois? Do you know? Do you know? No, you don't even care. You don't care how the Apache lives. You know why? Because these people are considered pagans. These people, there is balance in their pantheon of gods. Now, not all these tribes are the same, but if you would look into many First Nations, the role of women in their tribes looks very differently than what we say. But we don't want to even address these people's history. Why? Because we see the world from this perspective, the ice. We have an ice philosophy, y'all. We don't consider no one else's history. We don't consider the entire human story. Men have been this since the beginning of time. History shows that was a lie. Women have been like this since the beginning of time. History shows that's a lie. All you have to do is study the history of people living in the green areas, the Americas, Central America, South America, Africa, Australia. Study the history of people living in the green areas, and you will see everything we think about the world is false. We see the world through the male gaze of those that were stuck in the ice. Why? Only for one reason and one reason only. Let me get my simp on real quick. Let me say something that a simple say. The only reason that we continue to hold on to the Iceman's mentality is because it has perks over the woman. If you woke up and you was the melanated woman, if you was a male and you woke up and you was the melanated woman, you wouldn't want to have none of this shit. I want every man to consider that real quick. What if you woke up right now and you was a woman and you was brown? Would these belief systems benefit you? Would you be cool with it? Or would you be like, oh, hell nah? When y'all are shaming women, you're not shaming them based on ancient principles. You are shaming them based on an ice philosophy. You're not shaming them based on the behavior of what your ancient mothers and fathers, of people that lived in the green. You are shaming them through the lens of the male in the ice. You don't even know why it's wrong for them to twerk. The reason why you need to shame the woman is because you're getting secondhand embarrassment because of what the ice people might think about you. You want to put clothes on her, but you want to take them off. But you want to put them on, but you want to take them off. You got to make up your mind. You want the clothes on or off. But wait a minute. Are they thoughts? Are these people thoughts? See, these are the people living in the green. Are they thoughts? Is Western civilization going to crumble because the women here walk around with no clothes on? That's the natural state of women. Look at the damn continents, yo. Look at the equator. Who the hell would wear underwear? Who would wear clothes under your clothes? How does that make sense? Think, man. You live by the equator? You mean to tell me you wear clothes under your clothes? No. That is the behavior of people stuck in the ice. You need to be layered. These women got stretch marks. When these women give birth, their breasts sag. Y'all talking about y'all want natural women. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want natural women. Natural women have stretch marks. Natural women give birth and their breasts aren't the same as before. Naturally so. You don't want natural women. No, you don't. Cap. You are the Iceman. You don't want nothing in its natural state. Because when it's in its natural state, it deals with balance. Remember, y'all deal with hierarchy. You don't deal with balance. One has to be over the other. You know where that comes from, yo? Ice thinking. Only the strong survive. These people, they don't put away their elders. These people, they don't shame old age. The elders are a part of the tribe. Leaders of the tribe, not 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds. Huh. Cap when it comes to you want to live natural. Cap when it comes to you want to live traditional. This is tradition. What tradition you talking about? This? Cap. You know what the dangerous thing about the modern world and modern psychology? Y'all don't even read. Y'all don't even go to museums. You don't listen to anyone that disagrees with you. And the moment you do, you snatch away their humanity. You call them things like simp. You know what that does to a person? Snatch away their humanity and automatically your ears are blocked. You can't listen. That's no different than calling someone suspect, insurgent, terrorist. See, now you don't associate them with having a mother and a father. You don't associate them with having a humanity. That's why y'all quick with the names. Oh, call them a name. Because soon as you call them a name, there goes their humanity. You can't hear nothing they say. But the elders, tradition is study to show thyself approved. What do the elders say? What do the books say? Y'all go to 23andMe to learn where you come from. Ask your grandmother. Do you know what they're doing with your blood? Tinfoil hat time. The DNA that you're using is going to be used for the new type of humans. These artificial intelligence need blood. What do you think they do with your stuff? They're collecting human data with names and everything. Now that Boston Dynamic robot, you can give him a personality, John Williams, and give him your DNA and give him basically your consciousness. The difference is no human element. He's not going to question the position. He's just going to build shit. What do you think they do with it? Ask the people in your family where you're from. How are you going to go to a corporation? Right? Huh. For the women screaming and hollering, you want traditional relationships. Love, you're the record keeper. You remember when your granny used to keep that Bible with everybody's information in it? Y'all don't want no tradition. Y'all want the optics of the fucking pictures. How you want a soft life and you ain't even a witch? You don't even cook up spells. If the babies get sick, if your man gets sick, y'all gotta go out the home for service. If you don't have a job outside the home, then your job is to be a witch. And I'm saying it in its proper context. You know why? Because I'm not under Judeo-Christian mindset where the witches are evil. If your man cough, cook up some shit. If your baby cough, what's the family remedy? You are the physician. You not working outside the home, it's not so you can look like this. That's production. Y'all don't want tradition. Cap. Y'all want this. Y'all want the ice mentality. You want to be the stay-at-home woman so you can flex on other women. That's the only reason. But if your husband get a cut, what do you put on that? Do you got something growing in the backyard that you could put a leaf on that? You are the record keeper. Our entire history of our family, we should be able to know where to find it. Witch, You scared of voodoo. You scared to cut a chicken's head off. You scared of blood. Y'all don't let these people trick you out of nature for ice religion. Y'all don't want tradition. Cap. Oh, the nuclear family. This is not a nuclear family. Nuclear family is ice mentality. Traditional family is village. Y'all don't want tradition, right? That's cap. Y'all focused on race and not tribe. If we come together, huh? Who are you talking about? Your tribe? What did that look like? That's a tribe, not a race. They don't know nothing about white and black. That's a tribe of people. And they got culture and they got customs. And there's nothing primitive about the way that they're living. They have technology. You know why? They know how to use leaves. They know how to use leaves. They can smell a storm coming. You don't want tradition. Y'all want IG pictures. We love the psychology that we have of the ice. Tell me these people's history. Do y'all remember the Sentinelese people? They don't know nothing about the word God. Nothing. Nothing. They don't know nothing about masculinity. They don't know femininity. They don't know none of that. But we think they're primitive, though. Right? We don't want to live like that. Come on, man. We like glamour. We like this shit that we're doing. Just keep it a buck. Modern men, you don't want to fix nothing. You just want that in-house. If the system gave the modern man a baddie, if they gave you Brittany Renner, first of all, that's cap. All that, right. If they gave you Brittany Renner, you would shut your mouth. You wouldn't say nothing. If they gave you Kelly Rowland, you would shut your mouth. You won't say nothing about the modern woman. You got in-house? That's all this is about, is in-house. They're traditional. They've been living like that forever. They're traditional. You're not traditional, beloved. Our topic today is outdated male psychology. It's failing in the digital world. Because here's the thing about these people in the ice. I will give them credit. They're creating a new world. The problem is they switched the rules up on your ass. So while you have the psychology of old, they done morphed into some other shit. And you trying to hold on to that world that they don't want anymore. Because you know what's ill about the people from the ice? Do you know what white privilege really is? It's having no natural predators. What you call the white man, do you know why they take pictures hanging off of cliffs and they snowboard and they are at the bottom of the ocean just pushing it to the limit? Because they have no natural predator. The Iceman has scaled humanity so crazy that they're thinking about Mars. The melanated man is no comp. Do you think if you were comp, they would do things every day that puts their life in danger, they are bored. That stings. Ooh, that stings. All your high value man shit. Cap. The Iceman or the white man is bored. So he has to create artificial intelligence for comp. Because the melanated man lost. Not no comp. You blame women for your condition. You're not a comp to the Iceman. The Iceman made it out the ice, yo. Let me slow that down for you. Because that shit stings. The Iceman is so bored that they just be in the jungle with hyenas and putting their life in danger, thinking about Mars, right? In the Marina Trench, taking pictures, hanging off of cliffs. You know why? Because they have no natural predator. On the flip side, the melanated man has a natural predator. Oh, ouch! The only thing you can do with that comment is roast. That's your only power. That's white privilege. Having no natural predator for real. High value man, my ass. You know these high value podcast dudes, they don't talk about the Bilderberg group. Who's there? They don't talk about the Trilateral Commission. Who's there? Bohemian Grove. Who's there? Carlyle Group. Who's there? They're talking about World War III. Has anybody ever asked themselves, who makes these weapons? Y'all talking about submission. Y'all talking about masculinity. But it's a conquered conversation. It's a conquered conversation. I'm conquered. I was born into the shit, right? I will never be unconquered. I got to figure out how to get a win in this shit and plan long term. That's what it is, right? People that look like that from the ice are up, and people that look like this are down. That's what it is. Okay, cool. That's the hand I'm dealt. That's the life I chose. I'm going for there. I'm going to go from there. I'm conquered though. I don't call white, that ain't white supremacy. That's ice supremacy. Those people came out the ice. They were stuck thousands of years there, and it changed their psychology. Again, you need to look at this map. You don't know what you're dealing with. Look at that ice. Look at that ice. The people in the green had no chance. Look at the ice, yo. These are ice sheets that you cannot get out of. These people did not see the sun. That's why people that come from this region worship angry gods. Yo, ask yourself, how can the supernatural be jealous? Who thinks of that? Who thinks of that? How could the supernatural say, you know what? If you don't want to praise me, I'm going to make the rocks cry out. The supernatural has an ego. Y'all are following gods that have ego. Think about that shit. If you don't pray to the Iceman's God, you're going to be punished. What? Oh. If you don't praise me, the rocks are going to cry out. Prove your love to me. Sacrifice your child. That's the Iceman. Right? But in a more metaphysical level, what you call Yahweh is something called Yadaldabroth. It's a demiurge. I'll get into that on another stream. But what you think you're calling on is a curse. You are cursing yourself. When you say, oh, the divine brought me, you did that. You did that. It's placebo shit. You did that. You know what they don't even use terms like God, but you know what their deities are? Everything regarding nature, the trees, the water, the ground. Y'all don't want no tradition. Y'all don't want tradition. Y'all want outdated male psychology in the digital world. Have you ever put your feet on the ground with no shoes on and just walk in gratitude and appreciation? Understanding that when your time is up here, you're going to go back there. Now, some would say, well, Ken, how do you explain human existence? I don't. I say, I don't know. The ancients also say they don't know. They created stories around the fire and say, a great bolt of lightning, boom. But no one knows. And that's the great mystery, right? That's to humble your ass, because you don't know. But what I will tell you is this thing been going on a long time. And what y'all think is male and female dynamics, it's cap. What y'all think masculinity is, cap. What y'all think femininity is, cap. That's ice shit. Prehistoric religions. Now, interesting. The term Old Europe is used here to describe Europe during the Neolithic and Copper Ages, before it was infiltrated by Indo-European speakers from the Eurasian steppes, 4500 to 2500 BC. The Indo-Europeans superimposed their patriarchal social structure, pastoral economy, and male-dominated pantheons of gods upon the gynocentric Old Europeans. I heard that word in the manosphere, gynocentric. I've heard that word before. Let's go to etymology, because when they use gynocentric, they use it in a negative way, right? But what does the etymology say? So the root word is gyneco, right? Word forming element meaning woman, female, Latinized from Greek. Woman, female. Then it says gween, woman. Proto-Indo-European, root meaning woman, in forms of all part of androgynous, banshee, gynarchy, gyneco, gynecology, gysmatastia, gyno, misogyny, polygyny, queen. Wait a minute, let's go back to this. Hold on for a second. The term Old Europe is used here to describe Europe during the Neolithic and Copper Ages, before it was infiltrated by Indo-European speakers from Eurasian steppes. The Indo-Europeans superimposed their patriarchal social structure, pastoral economy, and male-dominated pantheon of gods upon the gynocentric old Europeans. I thought it always been like this. I thought it always been like this. I thought it always was like this. Males on top of, no. Remember, ice. Their gender structure was what they needed to survive based on their environment. Now, where did they say that was at? From the Indo-European speakers from the Eurasian steppes. So that's right around on your right side, like you're going to China. If I'm not mistaken, that area right there. Now up north, here's where you get like Viking culture. But you see there's ice in what you would like right around Russia and China too. Those people came out of there and unleashed hell. What's the big deal, Ken? Yo, that is not the way. That ain't the way. The so-called ancestors that y'all claim to have, it was based on ability. Not based, oh, you're a woman, so that's your job. And I'm a man, and that's my job. It's based on ability. Shoot the arrow if you know how. Pack the berries if you know how. It's about know-how. Y'all don't want that. Y'all want pictures and optics because you need to be the man. Y'all talk so much about emasculation. A picture can emasculate you. A color can emasculate you. Words can emasculate. So then what is masculinity then? How if you poke so easy at it, it's, no, that's your ego. Let's keep it a buck. That's your ego, fam. Can't nobody emasculate you. Right? You know why? Because in the mystic sense, there never is a time when masculinity is not. They are paired with the feminine. Baked into the environment. Y'all have put it in a social shit. You know why? Because you never cast pearls to swine. And y'all don't deal with the occult. So for the layman to understand, based on Queen Victoria's doctrine of separate spheres, oh, blue shirt, yeah, he's masculine. Oh, pink dress, that's feminine. That's the thinking of illiterate people. The Kabbalion teaches us that masculinity and femininity is in all things. How can a woman not be in her masculinity? It's inner. How can a man not be in his femininity? We are born with the shit. Y'all think it's a switch we click off and be like, oh, I'm feminine, I'm masculine. It's in you, yo. It's nature. Right? But real tradition is you don't even think about the shit. You just observe nature and all this beauty. Now, one of the things about the ice mentality is compartmentalizing things. So one of the skill sets of people from the ice, they're able to like be surgical about some things and like break it down to like a grain of sand. So those thinkers and philosophy that come out the ice, their mindset is able to take things and just rip them apart and dissect them. But that comes from being in the ice because you have to do that. But when you live in the green, you don't separate shit because it's all. Now we're gynocentric. This term I hear in the manosphere a lot. Gynocentric. That just means woman, right? Dealing with women, right? You know why a lot of y'all are sick? Seriously, health-wise. Do you know why a lot of y'all energy is messed up? It's because you will not accept the fact that women are part of the human story too. You hate the woman, right? You hate the woman. Even when you say something is feminine, it's in a negative way. Oh, yeah, that's feminine. What is the dude usually doing? Yeah, you're in your feminine. You hate the woman. And when you hate the woman, you hate yourself. That's why you're sick. How could you hate the woman when part of you is female? You come from a mother and a father that had a grandmother, grandfather, right? When you hate the woman, you hate yourself. You curse yourself. You lie to yourself. Part of the hero's journey, the secret and the key for modern men for freedom is to remove yourself from the womb. Take yourself off of the pussy. That's your key to freedom. You want to get free? Remove yourself from the pussy. And what I mean by that is decenter the vagina, yo, and understand that it's not your purpose or design to fix the woman, to save the woman. She got herself. Your manhood is not based on what women do or don't do. You want freedom? Take the pussy out of your mindset. So therefore, even if you don't hook up with a woman, you don't spaz. You don't want to work no more because of a woman? When a woman says she don't need a man, so that shit has no bearing on my life. Great. You don't need me? Cool. Now we could just kick it and have fun. You don't even know what you're saying. You want to be needed. That is a weakness. You want to be needed. Why? So the way the woman needs you gives your life meaning. The woman literally gives you meaning. Oh, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Oh, okay. Men built the world. Hold on a second. Let me go back to nature. Men built the world. What is the woman supposed to be like? Well, thank you. You didn't benefit off the shit, right? The reason why men built the world is because those that are at the top of the pyramid in the ice world, I want to keep what I have. I want to rule, right? I want power, right? The thinkers in the ice world. But there's no way that they can rule and have power if the men at the bottom of the pyramid don't have something to lord, landlord, lord, remember Germanic tribes, lord. Don't y'all say Lord God? That's all Germanic. The Lord. What? Lord of the land. Right? Let's change these pantheons that these tribes follow and put the male over the shit. See, we ain't worried about the people alive. We're going to worry about the children that are born. So they're going to be born into the world, a world where you have decimated all female history. But when you got books like The Cosmic Mother, when God was a woman, there's literally cave paintings 80, 90,000 years old of women, figurines of the Venus, right? But if you could trick the people that, yo, the woman's history begins and starts with the male, guess what that'll do? It'll it'll make dudes climb the Chrysler building with no union, no nothing, and start building shit for the bare minimum. Because guess what? At the end of the day, what do you get for your labor? Hot meal, hot meal, and some bottom. The average dude has not thought about life outside of having babies. So much so that's all y'all talk about. Babies, babies, babies. You just want to reproduce. The world don't want you to reproduce, fam. Nature's not asking you to reproduce. Do you know those people that lived in an indigenous way? How was their population so contained? Because they understood. First of all, based off Gnostic traditions, first of all, giving birth is hell. So the Gnostics believed that when you gave birth, that was a curse because that was bringing souls from the unseen into the seen. So birth wasn't looked at as a gift. It was looked at as a curse because this is the hell realm. So the Gnostics believed, nah, no birth. But you're under Adaldabroth, Yahweh, be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. So you think that's your whole purpose. So much so that y'all think children are a legacy. It's not. Remember I did that stream? People was in their feelings. People really think children are a legacy. They're not. Legacy is wills, estate planning, not children. But when you come, again, it's an ice philosophy, y'all. That's all you can do is have babies. Because the quality of life when you are born in the ice is low. And look, what was the mortality rate? People didn't live to be old. When women had children, they died. Y'all can't even fathom a woman if she say, I don't want no babies. You like, what? Because you're thinking about the species instead of thinking about yourself. So another key to freedom of outdated male psychology, stop speaking in groups about men. Men don't like this. Men don't like that. Well, men this. You're talking about a species. Here's the difference between you and me. I talk about me. I don't give a fuck what men like. I care about what I like. I don't care about what men do. I care about what I do. I had one kid. If he never reproduces, I don't care. Yo, there's so many levels and planes of existence. I don't care. I don't need my bloodline to be living 2,000 years from now. I don't care. When I transition from here, I'm done with this shit. That's the difference. I'm not trying to come back here. I'm not trying to be attached to the earth. But when you have an ice mentality, you're so afraid of going extinct. Babies, 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 babies. You're afraid of literally going extinct. Yo, cap about, yeah, we want to have wives and family. You talking about going extinct. This shit ain't got nothing to do. First of all, yo, listen to Akon. Listen to the ice male psychology. The children are raised by the women. Y'all don't even talk about babies. Y'all don't care about children. You're thinking species. That's the difference between me and you. When I wake up, I think about me. I don't give a damn about replicating myself. I look at my kids sometimes and be like, damn. Not because I don't love them. I love them to death. But I'm like, damn. Fuck. I brought them into a world of pain. Damn. And I stopped it there. You know what I'm more interested in? Reproducing, replicating my ideals. Give a fuck about babies. I love them, but I ain't trying to have them. That ain't my purpose. There's better shit to do than have babies. I don't get baby fever. I look them cute, right? I look at the shit from a Gnostic point of view. I'm not trying to save this shit. Y'all are. So you think species. But if you really want freedom as a male in a digital world, take yourself off the woman's womb and stop thinking in terms of species and start thinking in terms of individual. Notice the best platforms that are male, what are they talking? Men this. Hard lines in the sand about men. How do y'all know what men are? Women know the mysteries of men, not men. Y'all be sitting talking about men this, men that. If you want to ask about a man, ask the wife. Ask the girlfriend. How would you know? You don't know men. You don't know the mysteries of men. Women do. Women know the shadow side. You know the production. That's why when there's a nasty divorce and she posts them screenshots, everybody's like, oh, you don't know, man. You really want freedom as a man? Think for yourself. This is not men bashing. Think for yourself. I'm telling you where your psychology comes from. It comes from the ice, fam. You can never be unconquered. That's what it is. Your best bet is if you're thinking long term and you're invested in this shit, you have to include yourself with some type of cyborg or artificial intelligence. You can't be unconquered. You can't be. So you have to hook yourself up to some type of artificial intelligence. The Iceman already won the Pisces war. But Aquarius is up for grabs. But the old world, you got to give it to the Iceman. He won that shit. Passed with flying colors. But I want to tell you, what you think is normal and natural has not always been so. Has not always been so, yo. I want to read something real quick. Remember, the elders told us, study to show thyself approved. So we read over here. We look into things. Okay? So, we're just going to read a couple paragraphs. For most of our human existence, the number's about to drop a little bit because we're reading. We're going to get out of entertainment real quick and read. I know that's like, when I hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. For the most part of our human existence, human beings have not lived under patriarchal rule. The patriarchal order, as we know it today, is only about 5,000 years old. But Homo sapiens, modern humans, were making sophisticated tools, clothes, windproof shelters, and watercraft within matrilineal communities 90,000 to 80,000 years old. And I'll post this article in the chat too. We're just going to read some of it. The origins of patriarchy in the West are generally traced to Mesopotamia or the Fertile Crescent. By 4000 BC, men in Sumer, today southern Iraq, had claimed naming and ownership rights over children and were gaining control over women's bodies in turn. Y'all don't want tradition. I'm just keeping it a buck. There's nothing different than the white man than us. Same shit. We are that, right? Okay. But Sumer, before Sumer was patriarchal, it was matrilineal. Worldwide, matrilineal societies abounded before the creation of patriarchy and colonization. Really? Why we as dudes don't know that? What is so fucked up about the truth that we don't want to know this? Is a big piece of chicken not serious? In Mesopotamia, patriarchy became embedded with the transition from substance living to agriculture, the formation of cities, and the rise of militarism. And this seems to be a pattern. Societies became patriarchal either as they transitioned to agriculture or through colonialization. Howard Zinn's The People's History of the United States described hedonisy, or the Iroquois, society before the arrival of Europeans. Now, remember when I was talking about those native tribes of America, right? How did the women live? Right? Now, the podcast bros are going to tell you, yo, women's sexuality has always been a thing with men. Men. This is what they say, right? And y'all believe this shit because y'all are scared of reading. Because you're scared of what you might find. I'm seriously. Y'all scared to read. Okay. Quote. And this is based on I'm butchering their name, the Haudenosaunee, or the Iroquois. Women were important and respected in Iroquois society. Really. Families were matrilineal, that is. The family line went down through the female members whose husbands joined the family, while sons who married then joined their wives' families. Each extended family lived in a longhouse. When a woman wanted divorce, she set her husband's things outside the door. Uh-oh. Doesn't Myron from Fresh and Fit tell us this shit been like this since the beginning of time? Doesn't he say that? Don't all the pastors say this? Doesn't everybody say, since the beginning of time, it been this way? But wait a minute. Women were important and respected in Iroquois society. Families were matrilineal, that is. The family line went down through the female members whose husbands joined the family. Yikes. Holla at Howard Zinn, not me. In matrilineal societies like let's call them Iroquois, children inherit from their mothers. What? Wait a minute. Come on, man. In matrilineal societies like that of the Iroquois, children inherit from their mothers. Sons, husbands, or brothers have access to property because of their relationships to women who are recognized guardians. I thought y'all wanted tradition. Now, anybody listening to this, when you hear anyone saying they want traditional families, now you can ask them, natural tradition or ice tradition. Okay? You have ammunition. Natural tradition is everywhere in the green. The tradition they are talking about is everywhere in the ice. Okay? If y'all enjoying everything so far, go ahead and put 7 in the chat. Peace to the gods and the earth, by the way. Go ahead and press 7 in the chat. Right? Cause I'm simping. See, the thing about the truth, I don't care if this shit makes me uncomfortable. It's the truth, yo. And Bobby Hemmett said, I will go anywhere knowledge takes me, even if it's back to the church. And this is an occultist that had pictures of the Baphomet. And he was so serious about his knowledge journey that he said he will go wherever it takes him, even if it takes him back to the church. I will go anywhere knowledge takes me, even if I find out that the first human beings on the planet were women. If that's the truth, I don't care. Press 7 in the chat. Most matrilineal societies are also matrilocal, meaning that women inherit rights to land. Men help to raise their sisters' children, and young men leave home to marry into a matrilineal clan. Women have political status to match their central place in society, as Gabriella Norgman explains in Zor or the Ishtar, Daughters of the Pacific. Yikes. You see, when you're a conquered person, you see in conquered culture, a man marries a woman, she takes his name, and she goes with him. But in indigenous culture, it didn't look like that. Y'all don't want tradition. Or do you? Uh-oh. In Pula, women play an important role in issues of policy. Women traditionally own land. We control the clan money. We traditionally select our chiefs. Women place and remove them. Having observed their upbringing closely, we are able to decide which men have the talent to represent our interests. Let me read that again. In Palau, women play an important role in issues of policy. Women traditionally own land. We control the clan money. We traditionally select our chiefs. Women place and remove them. Having observed their upbringing closely, we are able to decide which men have the talent to represent our interests. Look at me being a feminist simp. In her book, Sisters in Spirit, Iroquois Influence of Early American Feminists, Sally Roche Wagner makes it clear that it's no coincidence that the American women's rights movement was born in the territory of the Haudenosaunee, or Native American Iroquois. Wait a minute, I thought feminism comes from white women. 3 leaders of the women's rights movement, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Matilda Jocelyn Gage, and Loretta Mott, had personal connections with the Haudenosaunee or the Iroquois. And these early suffrage strategists believed women's liberation was possible because they knew liberated women who possessed rights beyond their wildest imagination. Oh, but feminism comes from white women, right? Yeah? What did they say? Three leaders of the women's rights movement: Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Matilda Jocelyn Gage, and Loredia Mott had personal connections with the Iroquois. We're going to use that word. The Iroquois. And these early suffrage strategists believed many women's liberation was possible. Why? Why was it possible? Because they knew liberated women who possessed rights beyond their wildest imagination. What? Oh, okay. Okay. Remember, conquered people. Conquered people. Our whole approach to everything is from a conquered perspective. What y'all call white supremacy, you don't even understand it. Y'all want to overthrow white supremacy but keep the same gender dynamics though, like they're not part and parcel to each other. In an 1891 speech, Stanton told the National Council of Women about how misbehaving Iroquois husbands might at any time be ordered to pick up his blanket and budge. This is a white woman now, right? She envied how Indian women ruled the house and how descent of property and children were in the female line. She wrote that women were the great power among the clan and everywhere else. They did not hesitate when occasion required to knock off the horns, as it was technically called, from the head of a chief and send him back to the ranks of the warriors. The original nomination of the chief also rested upon the women. Y'all don't want tradition? Y'all don't want tradition? This is tradition. This is tradition. See? See? Look, the elders told us to study thyself to show approved. Study to show thyself approved. Now, these are white women in the 1800s admiring, admiring the position of Native American women. Our topic today is outdated male psychology is failing in the digital world. Y'all men and women are cappers. You know nothing about humanity. You don't want to. You so focused on living a soft life, baby girl, but you don't want to be a student. You so focused on the picture of masculinity at the expense of being a student, sir. Y'all don't want these books though. Y'all don't want to study. Y'all don't want real family. All of y'all out of alignment. I said it. I just look like this. When y'all fucking around, I'm looking up words. I'm going to museums. I'm chilling in nature. I'm asking questions. You know why? Because my primary focus on this planet is not to have babies and replicate myself. I want to die as one of the world's great thinkers. Not breeders, thinkers. And the moment that I find out that I'm wrong about something, I pivot immediately. And my ass has been very wrong about a lot of shit. And I hope I'm wrong about what I'm saying right here so I can dig deeper and keep going. My journey and my path as a man in the digital world is knowledge of myself. Not having babies, not saving the species. Nah, yo, knowledge of myself. I am Indiana Jones when it comes to knowledge. The Iroquois lived by hunting and horticulture prior to colonization. These villages were composed of long houses in which 25 families could live. Each had a partitioned sleeping area, sharing a fireplace with the family opposite. Women farmed and stored food at both ends of the longhouse and controlled its distribution, meaning chiefs, whom women had the power to dispose, needed women's consent to make war. Let me go back a second. Women farmed and stored food at both ends of a longhouse and controlled its distribution, meaning chiefs, whom women had the power to dispose, needed women's consent to make war. Now, even though this is about outdated male psychology, all of y'all women is out of line. You really think that by nature, dudes are smart? You really think by nature, dudes are leaders? You really think by nature, a dude is supposed to be on top of you? You don't even know who you are, fam. When a dude says, I'm about 50-50, you are upset. A man paying all your bills is part of ICE philosophy. Real tradition is we take care of each other. We take care of each other through our ability. Now, if I got the money, I'll take care of that because I got it. Has nothing to do with me being a man. It's because I got it. If I'm a millionaire, come on, man. I'm using the money to free the woman up to be a witch. Because I got it. Not because I'm a dude. I am not insecure about if a woman got more money than me. Y'all are bugging. Now, be honest with you, before I didn't know how to handle that because I thought my place was to always have it. I thought my place was to be, nah, man. I was sabotaging a relationship. Oh, cause, what you need me for? And the woman wasn't even throwing that shit in my face. I just could not handle that she had shit. I needed her to be pregnant and barefoot so I can be in charge. Remember when I said, if I'm wrong, I will make the pivot? I was wrong. Because I ain't never had a woman with, and this is the, let me bring myself back on the screen. I don't know what it is about my face or these waves. But for some reason, I befriend women with money. Always been like that, right? And the respect these dudes be complaining about, and the modern woman when she got money, I gotta be honest, I've never had a woman throw that shit in my face, ever. You know what they wanted from me? To be safe, meaning safe space, and to be a cool ass down to earth nigga. And that's that. Let her come and go as she please. Just cause she gave me some pussy in head, it does not mean I own her. Let her decide how she wants to be with me. You know what kind of freedom that is? Let me frame that for the dudes. Imagine you just being a cool ass homie that could get pussy. And it's all good. I don't even count as a body. Oh, that's just my nigga Ken. I'm not even part of the body pantheon. Oh yeah, that's Ken. Yeah, we just fucked. That's my homie. And you know what? Whenever they got a man, hey Ken, yo, we gonna put that on pause. I'm rocking with dude for a second. Know what I mean? So I just wanted to give you the heads up. I'll tap back in. You know what I'm like? Do that shit. Do that. You know why? Because if we homies in this love, I might not be part of your new season. What you know about that kind of friendship? See, my thinking is more in line with the people from the green. She ain't mine to own. That's my homie. That's my sis. Depending on whatever hat I am at the season, I could be homie, I could be bro, I could be fuck buddy, I could be all that. And guess what? Here's when you do the shadow work and you forgive your mom. It don't matter how nasty a woman was ever with me. I never overlapped what we did in the bedroom to the next day. Meaning the next day came, we left that shit there. What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about looking at a woman like that? Where she could show up and do some straight horror shit. And then when it's over, y'all go back to talking like homies like it never happened. And you know why I've been able to experience that? Because I allow a woman to show up in the primal as that's my sis, that's my homegirl, that's my folks, family. Family. I let her decide and be like, hey, you the only one I'm rocking with, or you part of my roster. I done been part of a roster. You know why? Because outside of that, that's fam, yo. So even if we don't talk no more, ain't no exposing each other. Ain't no showing text message. Ain't none of that. The word is friend. I'm not in the way of her hero's journey. I'm just a piece. I'm not the end all be all. It's not for the woman to build me up. Tradition, huh? Day by day, I'm coming out of Iceman philosophy and Iceman psychology. And day by day, I get more into being and experiencing. I don't want to own nobody. Ken, you don't care if somebody hits your chick? See, that's y'all problem. Y'all have y'all mentality in a woman's vagina. Don't care what a woman do. That don't make me. That's between you and her. Yeah, I got your chick. She not mine. She ain't mine. When you really grow and develop, and you really step into this digital world, I'm more concerned with the woman than I am her vagina. That's your focus. You want that. I want the woman. I want the friend. I want the 20, 30-year relationship and we looking back like, yo, we been knowing each other for hella long. But anyway, let me get back to simping. So as we just seen that the males can't go to war without the women's consent. Wagner writes that many 18th and 19th century Indian and non-Indian reporters contended that rape didn't even exist among native nations prior to white contact. We sick, yo. Because our other human family was trapped in the ice and they developed a lot of perversion. We have their mentality. We're named after them. We are conquered. See, conquered sting a little different than white supremacy. White supremacy mean, oh, everything is fine. It's a system of white supremacy. No, 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 no. No. We are conquered males. That. The way that we see the world is through the lens of the Iceman. They didn't even have rape didn't even exist. By contrast, the European tradition legalized both marital rape and wife battering. A woman's wait a minute, ain't that what they talk about, y'all? Domestic discipline? Yo, the black man is a white man, man. By contrast, the European tradition legalized both marital rape and wife battering. A woman's property and earnings legally belonged to her husband, and divorce was almost impossible for women to pursue. That's called coverture. That the woman of every Christian land fears to meet a man in a secluded place by day or night is of itself sufficient proof of the low state of Christian morality. Yo, a woman of a Christian land is afraid to meet a man day or night by herself. This thing about that, because I'm not removed from this. I'm not removed from this. Conquered. A conquered male. That means when you are born, the way that you see the world is through the lens of the conqueror and their culture. And it becomes so normal that right now we say we want traditional families. What? What? Matrilineal societies existed throughout the Near and Middle East before the creation of patriarchy. Among the evidence are abundance of relics indicating goddess religions. In her book, When God Was a Woman, I have that. Marilyn Stone says that historians' routine characterization of goddess religions as fertility cults has been sexist and oversimplified. Mother goddess figurines and other goddess figurines associated with serpents, doves, and double axes have been found in modern-day Iraq. Around 7000 BC, the goddess Astarte was worshipped in Canaan. Female figurines with their hands raised to their breasts have been found there in the old town of Jericho. 7,000 years ago, huh? Why we don't know this? Why we don't know this? From about 7,000, we're almost done, y'all. From about 7,000 BC, ruins also show the existence of matrilineal villages in the fertile river valleys of the Aegean and Adriatic coast of old Europe, Czechoslovakia, southern Poland, and western Ukraine. Houses in these villages had altars with statues and paintings of women alone as female animal shapes or associated with snakes and butterflies. According to Marilyn French, these villages lived in peace and stability for thousands of years, farming, raising animals, making pottery, carving, and making bone and stone implements. Set in beautiful, accessible, unfortified sites with good water and soil, none of these villages show signs of war, nor do the graves show stratification. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me when the woman was on another level, the villages lived in peace? Where's the hierarchy? Brown skinned man, dark skinned man, melanated man. You must detox your mind for yourself. Because if you look at a woman through the right lens, you will free yourself. Looking at the woman the way you do is slavery for yourself. From the 7,000, look at the time periods. So we're talking about 9,000 years ago. From 7,000 to 3,500 BC, these towns develops complex governing, social and religious institutions, specialized crafts such as goldsmithing, and perhaps a rudimentary script. By 5,500 BCE, they knew copper, metallurgy, and depicted sailing boats on their ceramics. 40 shrines dated back from 6,500 BC have also been found at the site of an ancient town called Kadal in Ayatollah, modern-day Turkey, including figurines of young women, mothers giving birth, and crones. Kadal Hayuk had a population of 6,000 to 8,000 people living in connected houses that were entered from the top of a ladder and furnished from mud brick fireplaces, clay ovens, and sleeping platforms. Now I wonder, how did these women become Christian, Muslim, and Jews? I wonder what happened. Oh, my bad, these are pagans. So their whole way of life doesn't matter because they can only be saved through the blood of Jesus. Remember that, right? The Iceman's religion. One precondition of the creation of patriarchy was an understanding of paternity. For most of our past, people did not connect sexual intercourse with the much latter event of women giving birth. This discovery, though, does little to account for or justify what followed. Did y'all catch that? One precondition for the creation of patriarchy was an understanding of paternity. For most of our past, people did not connect sexual intercourse with the much later event of women giving birth. So they had intercourse for pleasure. It wasn't about giving birth. According to French, male dominance was first asserted as men claimed ownership and naming rights of children, which necessitated control over women. The murder of firstborn children became common as men sought to ensure a wife's firstborn was really his own. By 4000 BC, villages in Sumer had become patrilineal though women may have still controlled food. Men and women fished, farmed and trapped birds and worked together to build temples dedicated to the goddess Ayana. Yet after communities began to trace lineage through the paternal line, they also became patrilocal. French explains, in patrilocal marriage, a woman lives with strangers, isolated from any who love her or who will protect her, sometimes even from any who share her language, often abused and exploited by husbands and their family and patrilocal groups. Women do not possess their bodies, their labor, or their children who belong to their husband's lineage. Some patrilocal society allow wives to leave, but they can never take the children with them. Therefore, most women remain. I don't want to hear nothing about the courts and what the courts are doing and how it's unfair for men. Yo, for 4,000 years. What are you talking about? For 4,000 years, the Iceman married a woman, separated her from her family, had the ability to separate her from her children. Y'all talking about the last 50 years? Oh, you don't like when nature balances itself out, huh? See, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, huh? See, one thing about the Iceman is that even though they do their effery, these are occultists. And they know that they have to put things back how it was and balance everything out. Why do you think the men in power are allowing it? Oh, they know the scrolls. They have the artifacts. These are Masons, Shriners, Knights of Malta, men in secret societies. Oh, they know. All this modern woman shit. Yo, homie, your beef is not with women. Your beef is with the men in the lodge. They are the ones putting things back in order. What do you think when the Knights Templar was raiding tombs? Where were they getting? All the scrolls. When the conquistadors came to the Americas, to the Aztecs, to the Incas, to the First Nations, they took their shit. They wiped their history out to the point where you don't even think women lived another life than this. Everyone speaks from a perspective that women always been in the position they're in. Cap. In order for the shadow government or the 1% to stay in power, they must go back to balance or they cannot have power. This is cosmic shit. If you don't embrace this, you keep fighting. Ain't Kevin Samuels dead? Ain't David Carroll dead? Alan Roger Curry? Y'all dropping like flies. Look at your health. You have no witches. You have no one to heal you. You have no one to do your astrology. Oh, yeah. Y'all don't believe in that. You know why? Because men are about religion. Women are about spirituality, fam. Why do you think you see a lot of women gravitating toward astrology, numerology, the occult, right? And what women are gravitating to that? All the hoes. All the women that was on the pole. All the women that got bodies. Right? All the women that y'all demonizing, they're not running to the church. They're running to the occult, right? But peep their background though. All women that you would consider for the streets. And guess what the difference between me and you is? When I need anything regarding health, I don't ask a man. When I need anything regarding am I on the right path, I don't ask a man. I ask the horse. You don't gotta believe it. That's fine. I just look like this. You don't know what I know. Right? The 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 whores are gonna heal me, right? The women that y'all say is gonna die alone. Do you know why they're gonna die alone? It's because they're practicing things that can heal themselves. So they're gonna outlive the men. And why are the men gonna die soon? Because you're trying to keep up with something of a world that don't exist no more. Trying to be a man. What does that even mean? A man is supposed to. Where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this from? Where are you getting that from? We're almost done. I'm going to post this article in the chat too. So it's longer than where we're going to go. But male solidarity and puberty rights were developed at this time, teaching boys to scorn feminine emotions, replacing them with hardness, self-denial, obedience, deference to superior males, creating a bond not of love, but of power directed at transcendent goals. Shout out to the High Power Podcast. What did it just say? Male solidarity and puberty rights were developed at this time, teaching boys to scorn feminine emotions, replacing them with hardness, self-denial, obedience, and deference to superior males, creating a bond not of love, but of power directed at transcendent goals. Womanhood ceased to be regarded in high esteem in male-dominated societies. French writes, girls are humiliated, isolated, confined, allowed only in small amounts of food and drinks, taught that her body is powerful but contaminated. A girl learns that she has power to pollute in such cultures. Menstrual blood is a source of horror and fear. Once patrilineality was established, with women marrying into their husband's clan rather than vice versa, it was difficult for women to escape. Patriarchy then became embedded with the development of agriculture and population increase, which fueled territorial expansion and militarism. If women had controlled food distribution before, they lost that power in this shift. The temple complex was controlled by a city ruler and his wife in the city center, who also managed the harvest from there. This gave them the power to pressure farmers to continue producing a surplus. As Sumerian temples promoted gods over goddesses, the goddess Iana lost primacy, although some still worship goddesses. Christian emperors of Rome and Byzantine closed down the last goddess temples in about 500 AD. Press 7 if you're still here. press 7 real quick. Let us catch our breath real quick. You are not alone, right? All of us were taught this shit, right? It ain't right and exact though, fam. How we look at each other, how we treat each other, how we come together with each other, it's out of line, right? It is not the path to a great quality of life. But the problem with this Iceman psychology is that they changed it. So the melanated man is grasping the 50s, the 40s, your grandmother stuck by your grandmother. But that Iceman, he's clever. And he done changed the rules yet again. That Iceman, constantly changing shit. 4 stages of Industrial Revolution. Industry 1.0. Introduction of mechanical production facilities powered by water and steam. Men were working these jobs. Men had their identity from their job. Stop right there. If you really want freedom as a dude, who you are is not your job. Who you are is based on your ability to complete the hero's journey. Your job is not your identity. That's why when they snatch it from you, you fall apart. When your lady says, "Oh, baby, that's all right. I'll get a job." You're, no. When your lady says, "I've been saving up," you're like, "No, hell no. I ain't letting you pay nothing." You're not saying that because you care. That's ego. You're not saying that because you believe the woman is so precious and so valuable that you don't want her to lift a finger. That's not why. You say that because of control. Because if she starts to put a little bit of her coins down on the table, guess what that comes with? An opinion. You don't want her working in certain environments because guess what that comes with? Exposure. Conversation. Remember James Evans? What was old girl's name in Good Times? Wyona? Is that her name? James Evans used to hate when Wyona came over the house. James wasn't educated, right? He was a hustler. He got that pool stick, right? But that woman used to come over, right? And James used to be like, "Urgh." You know why? Because Wyona didn't have no children. And Wyona was dating and she was out and about. And James looked at that as a threat because she would sprinkle little ideals in Florida's head. How you say her name? Wyona? Wyona? One thing about me is I'll fuck a name up. For sure. I can read it, but if I gotta say it, I just call people slang. I'll just be like, baby girl. But Peep though. There was an episode where Florida was like, she was gonna go to school, and James was like, hell no. She was gonna drive, and James was like, hell no. Why? Because knowledge opens you up to things. James was like, nah. Right? James was like, hell nah. Hell nah, you can't go. That's another thing about the male psychology. We know the power of money. And we know you put a little money in a woman's hand, it does change things. Right? See, when you're dealing with same, I make bread, you make bread, I got a car, you got a car, we same. A woman only gonna deal with you if she chooses you. And what are we finding out that is dangerous to Western civilization? It's women's choice. It's incredible. It's incredible how devastating a woman's choice is. Because she might not pick me. And if she don't pick me, what about survival? Oh no, what am I gonna do? Some of the shadow work that I had to do on myself, and it hurt like hell. My mom didn't pick me. She didn't pick none of her children. And that's not a diss to her. Things happened to her in her life where she didn't have that to pick her children. But I don't know what it was like for my sisters. For them, they have to tell their own story. But for me, it damaged my psychology. Right? It messed my mind up when my mother wasn't picking me. Right? I had a I'ma do me mom. And I hated her for that. Right? How she moved around. The sight of her, I hated it. Because I didn't have understanding about her human story. Because she wasn't a human to me because she's mom. Mothers aren't human. What? That's what I thought. Mothers aren't human. You're a mom. You're a superhero. You. So I carried that into the world, and any time where I let somebody down, I hurt somebody's feelings, I lied, I stole, I was trash, I was a pookie, right? I could always go back to, well, that's just how I grew up. Now I was using mama as a crutch. But part of my hero's journey was to look at that woman as a woman first, as a human first, separating the connection of mother. Like, let me adjust these lenses. Oh shit, that's a whole human. Oh shit, that lady was 26 years old before my big head ass was born. She got trauma, she got a life. Man, I'm hella out of pocket judging that lady. That was one of my hero's journeys. To take my hand off the womb. So the reason I can say take your hand off a woman's womb, because the hardest thing I had to do was take my hand off mama's womb. In the same way that I judged mama, My son gonna give me a report card too one day. Like, nigga, hold that. Ooh, ouch. All the games I thought I showed up for, he gonna give me that report card. Yeah, that's true, but this too. And I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna be like, that's your story, son. Whatever that you see in me that you don't care for, don't make the mistake that I made. Don't judge me as your parent. Transcend it. Because whatever you judge me for, you're going to do. You know how I did drugs? Because I blamed mama. I shaded mama. You know how I ran up credit cards, been bad with money? That's for pointing the finger at mama. Hey, mama. Damn near overdosing. Yeah, that's my cross I gotta carry. Why? I was shading my mom. You see? And she shaded her mom and started looking like her. And everything I used to at my mom's humanity, I wind up doing. You see? You see? Every one of y'all got parents. Be easy how you critique. Whatever you don't care for about them, that's fine. You just don't do it. But the moment you start taking it personally, like, yeah, and she up there laid up with men. Watch your body count do this. Who? What Jasmine say? Bodies on bodies on bodies on bodies. That's how you heal, yo. Acceptance. Right? The reason why I'm able to look at women the way that I do is because I had to remove myself from mama. And whatever pain that she caused me, I ain't even mad. I don't take it personal. It's just a game. So the Icemen are changing things. Industry 2.0, introduction of mass production based on division of labor and powered by electricity. Industry 3.0, use of electronics and IT to further automate production. Industry 4.0, use of cyber physical systems. Question. I got a question. What does your manhood and your psychology look like when it comes to this? See, remember, you built a male psychology off your work and your job. Well, they're doing that now. So what are you? Are you going to get bent out of shape? Are you going to kick and scream? Are you going to wreak havoc on innocent people because the woman has choice that she originally had, and now the Iceman has became more efficient in labor? So now you don't got the woman, and now your job. So now you stressed and depressed, and now you need Jordan Peterson to come cry for you. The hero's journey is your job as a man. It's your job to figure out what does your psychology look like in this environment with the woman having choice and the workforce looking like this. You need Andrew Tate to speak for you. You need Kevin Samuels. You need Andrew Tate and Kevin to tell the woman to, y'all should date average men. The average man is invisible. And the only way the average man can make himself visible by hopping on platforms and shaming in the women, blaming the women. Yeah, look at me. I need to go where my dollar stretches because I don't know how to stand out being average because you know the, they have took all the jobs. What about standing out with your personality? What about being a funny dude? What about being an interesting guy? What about having hobbies? Right? What about when women see you like, yo, you do cool shit. Can you teach me? Are women asking you to teach them things? The women are adapting to the world. You want them to stop adapting? Oh, but women are delusional. I don't care what women say they want. Oftentimes what women say they want and what they do is two different things. I'm 5'9". I don't care if women prefer 6'6". I'ma come through with these waves. What's happening? She might have preferred a 6'6" nigga, but this I'm here. What's up? Y'all really be, but women prefer this. I don't give a damn. Man, I'm pulling up. I know how to dress and I know how to get this haircut. And I'm pulling up. So the same chick that says, I like 6'7" dudes, she gonna rock with my 5'9" ass. You know why? Because I'm confident. She might tell me no, and she might be steadfast on 6'7". And I agree. I can't do nothing about this hype, baby girl, but respect. What you drinking on? Cool. And when she say, nah, you too short, at the bar, you look right over here, and it's somebody choosing up. My manhood is not defined by a woman's choice. My manhood is not defined by the market. No money, with money, I'm still Ken. BRICS economy, at war, Bitcoin, I'm still Ken. Good day I'm okay, bad day I'm okay. I don't need Jordan Peterson to speak for me. I don't need Andrew Tate to speak for me. I don't need Kevin Samuels to shame modern women so they give my 5'9" ass a chance. Yo, how, first of all, let's just keep it a buck. Modern women want to have sex and they're nasty, right? They're with it. And if you can't get that, like, it's chicks that come outside to be like, man, I'm going to catch a body tonight. And they not tripping. And you can't get that? Something is wrong with you. A man got to build himself up. No, you don't. Women are looking at dudes like a piece of meat. They don't want nothing from you but the D. Surprise. Oh, women have a emotional connection to sex. That's the Iceman thinking. I'm going to tell y'all a secret, fellas. Women are just like you. Right? You think they have a connection to that. Right? It's so many dudes asking women right now, what are we? What are we? Women is laying down with y'all and not even calling you back. And you digging, right? You digging. Yeah. Right? You do the deadly move, put the leg on the shoulders. You like, I got you now. Yeah. Yeah. Ha ha. Right? One day go by, 2 days go by. 3 days go by. Like, damn, sure they ain't hit me. Then she finally answered, yo, what's up? I've been trying to. She like, oh yeah, I've been busy. I've been busy. She hit you with the 615. Women are asking dudes after the hookup, so what you about to do though? Oh, you thought you was finna stay the night, nigga? Women are asking dudes, so what you about to do? Fake yawning. Women are telling their homegirl, girl, call my phone in an hour. Act like I gotta pick you up. You thought you was finna stay the night. You know why you're looking at women like that? That's a program, right? That's a program. Y'all mistake that you think the woman is rocking with you because of sex. She was rocking with you because she liked you. Y'all put so much stock on that place. Y'all really think that means something. It don't. Women that be in my chat is hitting y'all with the, so what you about to do though? Yeah, so what you about to do? I don't mean nothing. What's your manhood look like? What's your manhood look like? See, this used to be men working this. What's your manhood look like? You gotta redefine that, because it's not your job anymore. What's your manhood look like, yo? So your manhood can't be defined through the woman's womb and your job no more. Now, Myron, Andrew Tate, Kevin, all of y'all, you can't stand on a group of men anymore to define your identity. The 1% is not giving the women as a sacrificial lamb for you to define your identity. You got to stand by yourself and say who you are. You don't get to say, well, men don't care. I don't, man, speak for yourself. Show up as a man, not a group of men. All this fake shit. I'm speaking for men. Homeless men too? Really? Men in prison too? Men that have less than you? You speaking for them? Hell no. Hell no, y'all not. Y'all use that rhetoric of speaking for men just to go at women. Men don't like men. How do we know men don't like men? When women have a lot of male partners, what do men say? Ew, you're dirty. What made her dirty? Connection to men. Men don't like men. Y'all don't like men. Y'all front as if you care about men. You don't. Where's your men programs? Oh, child support. Choose better. You don't care about men. Y'all hate men. You want women to value men while you devalue men. You say black women don't respect black men while you disrespect black men all day. Yeah, you broke. Yeah, you broke. Yeah, that's why you ain't got no money. Y'all shame the men for having less subscribers than you, less money than you, not a nicer car than you. Whenever you can get that leverage, you lay that card down. While women are watching men treat men a certain type of way, you want women to skip over what their eyes are telling them. Women are learning from us, men have no value. If you really wanted women to respect men, show them what it looks like. But when you're under the ice mentality, remember the ice, y'all? You have more respect for property. You don't respect men. You respect property and status. Women respect status. Since the beginning of time, women respect status. Blah, blah. Cat. We just read that women was picking the chiefs. Men couldn't go to war unless they asked the women. Cap, all that's lies. Now, it's truth in the sense of when you are from the ice world, a woman had to pick a man based on status because look at the environment. She would not survive. The interesting thing about a lot of male gripes, your gripe is with other men. Let me show you who. You see them guys at the top? They are defining what manhood looks like in the modern world. They're not the biggest, fastest, strongest. What is allowing them to run up? Look at the numbers. 201 billion. 190 billion. 116 billion. 113 billion. 106 billion. 104 billion. 189 billion. 84 billion. 80 billion. How? Elon, Jeff, Larry, Bill, Steve, that's all technology. The Iceman is no longer running from saber-toothed tigers. The Iceman doesn't rule now with brute force. The Iceman have changed the game, right? While the regular modern male is in the old Iceman mentality. The new Iceman philosophy is mind. Who has the best mind? These are the alpha males. Matter of fact, no. These are the men. Men tell alpha male what to do. Men hire alpha male for protection. Alpha males work for men. You have an outdated male psychology. And when it comes to the digital world, you are done. Your only chance of moving forward is to get free. Get free of the womb. Go on the hero's journey and show up as an individual. Not showing up as men. Not showing up with talking points. Really, really doing the work. Or not. Right? Or not. But what will history say about you? Right? How long do you think you have with your outdated male psychology? You're conquered. Go from there. Me personally, I've accepted that I'm conquered and I'm going to go from there, right? And I accepted that a lot of my mentality was outdated and I had to upgrade my software. But even in a digital world, being a nigga with waves Being a nigga with waves, though, is always, always gonna have value. I done made money, lost it, and made it back again. I done took major losses in the game. You get the benefit from my losses. I sat with some of the realest people that ever walked this planet. You get the benefit from that. See, when I'm talking, man, I'm not one of these niggas, man, that didn't get it out the mud. I'm not freestyling. I'm not speculating. This is raw and authentic. This is the game that you apply ASAP and it change your life, and people see a difference in you. People say, wow, look at her. Wow, look at him. Man, whatever they doing, man, it must be working, cause damn, they look better. Damn, they sound better. They moving better. Well, that ain't free. You gotta pay for it just like I had to pay for it. Put the money on the wood. Respect the